the Wikimedia Foundation is running a campaign for International Women's Day to highlight efforts to close the gender gap in Wikipedia content as women remain underrepresented in both Wikipedia's editor community and its articles. Over 30,000 edits have been made by featured editors to highlight the women in African history and society. For more on this, we speak to Masana Mulaudzi, who is a senior campaigns manager for Wikimedia Foundation. Masana, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. How terribly underrepresented are women, the stories and impact and accolades of women in the entries on Wikipedia?
Thanks, Oliver, and good evening to you and your viewers today. The challenges we face on representation of women and their impact in society on Wikipedia are represented by some of the structural issues we see in the availability of sources and knowledge of women on the internet, more broadly speaking. For this reason, Wikipedia reflects some of the structural imbalances we see in society, with roughly 20% of articles on Wikipedia being about notable women. And as a result, the Wikimedia Foundation is coming together to focus on celebrating volunteers in our movement to drive efforts to close the gender gap under our campaign, Knowledge is Human, Knowledge is Her. We're really pleased to invite people to join our movement to make a difference in closing this gap on Wikipedia.
Part of the difficulty about getting entries into Wikipedia is that it must be corroborable and there must be a secondary source to that effect. And therefore, it means oftentimes when you try to highlight the story and accolades of people, their underrepresentation in broadly speaking media contributes to their underrepresentation in on Wikipedia entries, given that it's aggregated content across the platforms. And so the problem is broader than one that Wikimedia and Wikipedia is trying to solve. It's a broader South African or global broader media problem. Talk to us about some of the challenges that your editors and featured editors had encountered as they tried to, enact these 30,000 edits specifically on the stories of women in African history and society.
Yeah, you rightly point out that many of the challenges we see are reflected by a general gender inequality that exists in media, that exists in academic literature, that exists more broadly in how women's stories are told or represented. Wikipedia is an incredibly valuable source globally. It's one of the largest encyclopedias that have ever existed in human history. We have over 260,000 volunteers around the world working on Wikipedia, and we have more than 1 billion views taking place each week on Wikipedia. Now, when it comes then to closing the gender gap, we've done incredible work to support our community and ensure that the stories are told. But more needs to be done to ensure that our partners in the knowledge ecosystems, like media houses, like libraries, galleries, and archives, really support contributors online to access source materials, to access stories of impactful and notable women and non-binary people on the internet to ensure that their stories are then captured and reflected on a critical source like Wikipedia. It's also incredibly important in the face of the advancement of artificial intelligence, because many, if not all, large language models, many artificial intelligence programs are trained on Wikipedia. And because this reflects the gender inequality that exists in the knowledge ecosystem, that means that, of course, many of the artificial intelligence systems themselves are subject to that bias or that missing information.
Yeah. Masana, thank you so much for your time and your contributions. I really do appreciate it. Masana Mulaudzi is a senior campaigns manager for the Wikimedia Foundation.